Good afternoon, dear student. Today is the first lecture and we are starting with the carbohydrate chemistry today. As you all know that carbohydrates are important for us as it gives energy, and there are specialized cells or organs which are dependent on only carbohydrates, just like our brain can't function without glucose. So that's why it's important to study carbohydrate. Now let me share my screen. So here today we are going with the carbohydrate chemistry, and in today's lecture we will see what is the biological input they are made up of, what is their classification, and we would try to mention about the isomerism in the carbohydrate. So let's move on. So carbohydrates, you can see most of our meal is contributed by carbohydrate. I can call them as a sugar and cereals. 60% of our meal is contributed by carbohydrate. We consume carbohydrate either in the complex form like a starch through the cereals like roti sabji, and even simple carbohydrate like sugars like a refined carbohydrate. Now, why these carbohydrates are important? As I mentioned earlier, this is a principal source of energy. 1 gram of carbohydrate will give you 4 kilocalorie of energy, and it is they are chief source of energy for spinal cord, brain, RBCs, and nerves. The carbohydrates are stored majorly in the plant in the form of starch, and even in animal tissue they are stored as a temporary storage of energy, and that is in the form of glycogen. Many specialized substances like nucleic acid, blood group substances, hormone, and cell membrane, it contains carbohydrate. Nowadays, high fiber diet is in the fashion and it is advocated to many. This is because fiber diet help to prevent disorders like diabetes mellitus and hypercholesterolemia. Then glycoprotein is another component which is made up of carbohydrate. It is an important part of extracellular matrix which forms a support system of our organ. Some carbohydrate like inositol triphosphate, they act as an intracellular messenger. So let's see first what are the carbohydrate. The name itself suggests like carbohydrates. So it can be a hydrates of carbon. So same definition arrived in mid of 19th century by Carl Schmitt. He defined this molecule as hydrates of carbon with the formula like CX and H2OY. Now, this example, or I can say there are some exception like this carbohydrate, apart from carbon and hydrogen, oxygen, they also contain few nitrogen and sulfur atom. Now this definition was prevailed for some time, but later on it found that there are few exceptions. Like take example rhamnose. Now its molecular formula is like a carbohydrate, okay, but it is not a, sorry, this molecular formula does not suffice carbohydrate, but this is a carbohydrate. Now again, like acetic acid, formaldehyde, and inositol, these molecular formula of this molecular formula does not come in the proportion like H as to O to 2 as to 1, but they are not carbohydrate. So these are because of this some difficulties or exception. So the definition was revised, and it was revised like these are polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone, or the compound that yield them on hydrolysis. So you can see this polyhydroxyaldehyde and ketone or compound that they yield them upon hydrolysis. In other words, you can remember them as an alcoholic group with the free or potentially free aldehyde or ketone group. But I think first definition is simplest one, and you can follow this. Now take an example of this glycerol. Glycerol is a simple trihydric alcohol. Now, on oxidation, you can see it can be converted into two products. Now, one is glyceraldehyde and another is a dihydroxyacetone. Now, you can see in glyceraldehyde, there is this carbon. You can see this in pink. Now, this carbon is asymmetric carbon atom. As we know that when one carbon, all valency of one carbon are fulfilled by different molecules all four valencies are fulfilled by different molecule, then this is known as asymmetric carbon atom. And this asymmetric carbon atom gives certain properties to this molecule, like they are optically active, and they also show the stereoisomerism. Now you can see this glyceraldehyde. It is called as a reference carbohydrate because this the position of H and OH around this asymmetric carbon atom gives its configuration, right? Like whether it is in D form or L form. If this H is on L right hand side, we call it as a D-glyceraldehyde, and if this H is on left side, we will call it as a L-glyceraldehyde. And this nomenclature is followed further in other carbohydrates too. So now let's see how these carbohydrates are classified. As the definition said that these are the compounds which yield carbohydrate on hydrolysis. Now if this is the simplest molecule which cannot be hydrolyzed further, or this is a compound which is made up of only one carbohydrate unit, we call it as a monosaccharide. Okay, now coming to the next, that is a disaccharide. Di stands for two. So here, these are the carbohydrate which on hydrolysis will give two molecules of monosaccharide. Now, oligosaccharides, when the molecule yield the monosaccharides, if this molecule contain 3 to 10 monosaccharide unit, we call them as an oligosaccharide. Now coming to the poly stands for many. So when more than 10 units of carbohydrates are present in the molecule, we call them as a polysaccharide. Now remember, when we are talking about the disaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharide, all these molecule monosaccharide units are bounded together with the glycosidic linkage. Okay, so now we will study monosaccharide further. As we all know, these are known as simple sugar. Do you remember simple sugar? Because they are crystalline and sweet in the taste. Now, mostly they are not hydrolyzable and contain less than 7 carbon atom. Now, do you remember glucose and fructose? So you can see this aldose and ketose. Glucose contain the aldehyde group, so they are aldose, while ketose contain ketone group, so they are ketone. So you can see this is just a sub classification of carbohydrate, that they are classified depending on the functional group. Now, second type of classification, again, every molecule of each can be classified depending on the number of carbon atom it has. So, example of carbon atom is trioses. Now, triose with aldehyde group is glyceraldehyde. We have seen in earlier slide. While this triose on this with ketone group, we call it as a dihydroxyacetone. Both this glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone, they are formed during the digestion of glycolysis, digestion of glucose molecule. Glycolysis. Now coming to the tetrose, this is the carbohydrate containing 4 carbon unit. The name of it is the erythrose and erythrulose. Now erythrose and erythrulose. Now here you can see that then pentose is another important compound, which is a example is pentose aldose is a ribose, and this ribose is a part of nucleic acid, same way as a deoxyribose. Now ketosis of pentose is ribulose, cellulose, and xylulose. Now coming to important monosaccharides, these are the 6 carbon monosaccharides. Now here we have the 3 molecules like glucose, galactose, and mannose. We will see how they are different in the isomerism and their function also. Now important ketohexose, which we get from the honey or the fruits, it is a fructose. It contains ketoses. Now heptoses is one of the ketose, that is it is known as a pseudoheptulose. Okay, so this is about the subclassification of monosaccharide. Now we are going to the disaccharide. Now, as its name suggests, di means two, so it contains two same or different monosaccharide. Obviously, they will be bound with the glycosidic linkage. Now, again, this disaccharide can be subclassified into reducing and non-reducing disaccharides. It depends on the free functional group. Like we will discuss this in detail. Like maltose is made up of glucose and galactose. Maltose is made up of two molecules of glucose, and this is a reducing disaccharide. While lactose is made up of glucose and galactose, and this is also reducing disaccharide because both this molecule they are joined with 1,4 linkages. Now cellubiose is another reducing disaccharide, and this is formed during the digestion of cellulose. Now, coming to the important non-reducing disaccharide, this is a sucrose. Now, sucrose, we know this is a table sugar or common sugar we eat. This is made up of glucose and fructose, and both bonds. There's the glycosidic linkage present here is alpha 1 beta 2 linkage. So, their both bonds are utilized in the formation of glycosidic linkers. Sorry, both functional groups are utilized in the formation of glycosidic linkage, and hence it is a non-reducing. Same way as the tree hallose, it is also disaccharide made up of glucose and glucose, so that this is also non-reducing. Now coming to the other oligosaccharides. Now when it contains more than two monosaccharide units, like trisaccharide, they are the raffinose, which is made up of glucose, fructose, and galactose. Then genhannose is another trisaccharide. This is made up of glucose, and fructose. Then it is a melazitose, which is again glucose, fructose, and glucose. Now tetrasaccharide plus tetrasaccharide, that is a stachyose, which is made up of glucose, fructose, and galactose. And this pentasaccharide, that's name is Wabascose, that is galactose. Then three molecule of, you can see, galactose plus glucose plus fructose. So you can see this. This can be asked as an MCQ question. Now coming to the polysaccharides. The polysaccharides, these are the carbohydrates having more than 10 monosaccharide unit. As their polymer, their molecular weight is more, and the bonds are also not free. So they are non-reducible because of its molecular weight. They are insoluble in water and tasteless. Mostly they form the colloidal solution. Now again, polysaccharides are reclassified as a homopolysaccharide, like they are same when they are the same type of monosaccharides unit. Like if it is made up of starch, we call it as a starch, dextrine, glycogen, and cellulose. All these polysaccharides are made up of glucose. Now, inulin is made up of fructose, and chitin is made up of glucose. So these are the homopolysaccharide. The homopolysaccharide made up of glucose, we call it as a glucosan, while homopolysaccharide made up of fructose, we call them as a fructosan. Okay. Now coming to the another type of polysaccharide, that is the heteropolysaccharide. Now heteropolysaccharide, they are made up of different type of monosaccharide unit, and this different type of monosaccharide unit, and you can see there are even they are known as a glycosaminoglycan because they also contain the derivative of glucose, like amino sugars and uronic acid. So example of it is the hyaluronic acid. The chondroitin sulfate, there are also three types of chondroitin sulfates, A, B, C. Then heparin, even blood group substances, keratin sulfate 1 and 2, then heparin sulfate, dermatan sulfate, and pectin, agar, and gum. All these are polysaccharides. Okay, so here we are finishing with the classification of classification of carbohydrate. So let's revise that the carbohydrate, we can see carbohydrates are divided into monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharide. And even monosaccharides are further divided into the depending on the function group, that is fructoses and ketosis and aldoses, and depending on the number of carbon. Then coming to the disaccharides are classified into reducing and non-reducing disaccharide. Then we have like a trisaccharide, tetrasaccharide, and then polysaccharide. Polysaccharides are of also two types, that is the homopolysaccharide and heteropolysaccharide.